the first to know Nsem-Pii TV.
Abatoa no egu so a ekoso na mene wo kasa de NDC amanyuko no ehunu se ekobon nti by all means ekwan a won ebefa so akon atia Dr. Bawumia de ene abusuafo bebre na said ballot paper no oje a Dr. Bawumia ene dinkan de otoso mienu beba de otoso miensa beba John Dramani Mahama etoso 8 enom near the up to the last person na ukokopie mu ewo Kentampo South a EC official no a ewo ho no yentimi confirm so ye NDC ni ana se onye NDC ni but the why ne the probability so ye NDC ni no high na say na why ballot papers no se oyi so de ma wa Dr. Bawumia ene da number 1 enti ote Dr. Bawumia de no efiri ma na ode de aka no amount wo be hwehwe ma asa opese otoma Dr. Bawumia no wo be hwehwe mu sa uhu Dr. Bawumia edin ewom ewo Kentampo South a mene wo ekasa di aprosifo ensa etini aka no a just suspend voting no ewo Kentampo South a mene wo ekasa di enkoso na yenko tie
ya to so a yenya ne tie se wo kɔ apesika ewo Kentampo South constituency a ewo Blue region electoral commission nipa na wo ho no ya wona ballot paper wona issue wotete de manipa no be 15 ballot papers there wote anu wate Dr. Bawumia tie free so pacho eni so ho so ho keke so ho anti wote a na Dr. Bawumia ti no wayi half akoto baabi wote se ba be 15 ballot papers na watete a why the santi wote a na wo hwan ti no so wa bonti half ko ya no twa enti me no ka say abato no o ma suspend sisi ewo Kentampo South constituency police station fe no apesika we esi pesika na electoral commission officer na wo ho no wote ballot paper na wate Dr. Bawumia ti ni bia free so minimum say Dr. Bawumia ti no so man do wote bia free so no wate half e free so now the aka no ahye wonsem na enkofo ahu a aye BJP me no ka say voting has been suspended ewo apesika Kentampo South constituency ewo Bono East region it's about 15 papers na why na but I don't really know say when still na if you do what there but kakra wo it's still in pakolo to number 1 na e be valid na say valid yeah it's what is and minim how they will deem it say a valid or invalid yeah you know as so no
ba godo na bia de wo koto na woto ama Bawumia so a say 15 na binim say 15 no na say dodo na bia o ma to awi a box I should think so in bia mo hu say be 15 na why nesa but so be koto a bia say the why no dey I think say bia na box no still betu
box kakra
wo ho often so the team ho enti say obi betu now the team ho no dey well menye EC there but I should think say omo hu ntem no kra omo hu ntem 15 bi wo mu dey but say nipa no toy ne unya ba bi de nsasina ebe ho dey omo to be ko bie box no sisi ya but I should think say member Jimo no dey say omo to be at the count say ho no to there na 15 year aseba god adie EBS pay na date abompa EBS pay no now so
yeah it is omo yesa any say omo yesa say and na me hwe say I'm told say easy for no a press conference is underway.
Yeah. That's what I understand. But me
Facebook page one, but me said then
me who in me so no me sha say me who so more Matis and Kofuna yes it's underway, but I'm trying to find out. Me dim say bia omo but I say so then come be bia there. Sometimes it's live to me, but me who be bia say they also walk me to me who say omo a press conference no on all platforms. Maybe Bobo Dia Senka, me who say Bibisa so air coso.
But check YouTube say be a bahol.
I ma check it, but me also my who be biasa dear, but me who said to do that say it's underway. Ye guswa ehwe yensa e ka feed no de say godon e ka no dia. But me search favorites and say be who say sad matter say coso but.
Take afa yen hwe opinion before ye be nebe ben na opinion post bebriaba clearly musa down kwa de ndie oben me say wono wo he apportions percentages to people that he loves until no show ni ma keke obo 75 me say do mama hwe say me ti ho apay onya negative 4 ko be san dia mama every week bia was why opinion post na what you at 2 days why the opinion post e chain na credible ones buy at least me no be buy ye wo e be party for nyina ye bi but the ababonte pa na the parodo na gidi se e credible ones e 2 first one here Professor Smart Sapon Commercial Technical University ono ne de aba and Institute of Progressive Governance ya mo consultants ne Dr. John Donfe Professor Zibwedi and Dr. Eric Bwati Yado omune consultant for IPG almost de eba bonten nimi elu nyina no IPG de no e put Dr. Bawumia slightly ahead say ebe one touch
for 50% across the country, trying to get to our various communities so we can cast our votes very early in the morning. And we're encouraging every single Ghanaian to step out tomorrow and cast your votes. Make your votes count tomorrow. So wherever you find yourself at this juncture, we encourage all of us to make time and get to your polling station. We wish the rest of us who are also traveling very safe journeys and travel mercies. There are a few incidences we would want to address quickly this evening. We would be engaging all of you periodically on issues that come up. We believe that we need to protect our democracy, we need to protect our people, we need to protect the sanity of our country, and so we would engage as much as possible to ensure that we go through this as peaceful as possible like we have in the past elections. So it has come to the attention of the party that there's some very alarming developments happening in the Volta region, and we think that we must take very serious look at. So yesterday, which was on the 5th of December, the Ghana Immigration Service intercepted some ballot papers from the NDC Akachi North Constituency Secretary. So the NDC Constituency Secretary for Akachi North was met with some ballot papers by the Immigration Service in the area. His name is Abraham Ahiabu. And he was met at the Heavy community in the Volta region. According to the official statement, as I'm sure a lot of you might have seen already, what he told the Immigration Service is that the ballot papers he was holding, were dummy ballot papers, and that he was heading to Togo to undertake some voter education all the way in Togo. And again, according to Abraham, the secretary for the NDC constituency, the NDC in the Akachi North constituency, these over 23,000 ballot papers he had, which he says are dummy ballot papers, are headed towards Togo for voter education, and that he was going to educate these voters in Vodome, which is in Togo. He also told the immigration about, of course, the quantity of ballot papers he had. Apart from the 3,000 they met him with, he also had an additional 20,000 in all. Now, this is a very worrying situation. Worrying in the sense that there are few questions that needs to be answered with this incident. First of all, why would an NDC constituency secretary have in his possession so much ballot papers in the first place? What's the intention, especially on the eve of elections? We are voting 2-3 days to elections. Why are you holding so much ballot papers under the guise that you are going to use a voter education? Secondly, why was he transporting these ballot papers from Ghana into Togo? I'm sure you all clearly understand what the issue is. This is a Ghana elections. Why are you moving ballot papers from Ghana all the way into Togo? And then, of course, why should citizens of Togo receive voter education on an election that is happening in Ghana? Why should the NDC secretary in the Akachi North constituency worry himself a day or two to the election day transporting ballot papers to Togo to go and educate voters in Togo? That is of very, very, very much concern to all of us. It's very important to reiterate the point that this election is for the people of Ghana. It's for the citizens of this country. And no foreigner, nobody from any other country apart from Ghana has the right to cast his or her vote in this elections. That is not allowed. And it's very important for us to make this a point, especially to our friends and our brothers in our neighboring countries, Togo, especially, who have been lured to register in our elections, that yes, you may have been lured to get your registration done, but trust us, you are not going to get to cast your vote. And so the caution is that do not be motivated to leave your country and enter Ghana in an attempt to cast your vote tomorrow. As we speak, we have directed all our polling station executives and all our party people to be firm, vigilant, and ensure that not a single non-Ghanaian, not a single foreigner is able to cast his or her vote. We've always raised these concerns that we should allow the people of Ghana to exercise their franchise and their franchise only. This is not the only worrying incident happening, especially by the NDC and the voter region. Yesterday, on 5th December, the Ghana Police Service interrogated the Electoral Commission officer from Afajatu South constituency in the voter region. Again, the NDC stronghold, who was caught transporting ballot papers and other official documents in a private vehicle without any police security or escort. And the Electoral Commission, of course, has issued a statement, and this official statement says that the EC officers must only, and they are only supposed to transport these electoral materials in official EC vehicles and escorted by the police. It's quite worrying that these things seems to be happening a lot more in the voter region, the NDC stronghold. And I'm sure our friends from the media are also wondering how they, on daily basis, in fact by the minute, are raising such concerns and such issues. We, a few hours ago, saw the former president issue a statement, talk so much and attack so much the Electoral Commission, but he failed. He failed in the entire attack to reference this incidents and activity in his stronghold. Since this incident, we have neither received further details regarding what is happening to this officer who works with the Electoral Commission and what sanctions the Electoral Commission is actually meting out to him. And we are very much interested in keenly following exactly what is happening. All Ghanaians, all of us citizens, must consider these incidents very, very alarming and ensure that wherever we find ourselves, we heighten our vigilance, especially in areas where these things are happening. And like I said earlier on, we have asked every single MPP person in these areas to be vigilant and be firm, and we're going to ensure that we protect the integrity of these elections at all costs. It appears the NDC clearly wants to manipulate the voting in their stronghold, especially the voter region, where they consider as the World Bank, and the fact, or the voter World Bank, and the fact that they have to transport voter ballot papers all the way to Togo. Transporting voter ballot papers all the way to Togo on the eve of our elections is a very worrying situation, and most especially with the intention, as confessed by the Secretary of the NDC, the Akati North constituency, with the intention to train non-Ghanaians on how to vote in our elections. This is a very, very worrying situation, and clearly shows that the NDC, they clearly know, they have been aware for a very long time that they are going to lose these elections. After months of complacency, after months of laziness and not giving the Ghanaian people any credible alternative, they realize that they are losing these elections, and they are committed to using any illegal means to ensure that they subvert the will of the people. But we in the New Patriotic Party would not allow that to happen, and we are sending this caution especially to people they would want to lure to support them in these illegalities. Clearly, the hard work of Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia and the MPP, of course, has made a very, very lasting impact in the Volta region. The numerous developments, the huge impact of our interventions in the region is made a very, very strong indication there, and that is obviously making the NDC uncomfortable, and the reason why they are resorting to some of these unnecessary and disturbing tactics. In the light of these events, we are calling on the EC to be vigilant throughout the country, as we are asking for a very free and fair elections across the country, and we are committed to supporting all stakeholders in ensuring that we have free, fair elections tomorrow. We are requesting that the EC provide the people of this country full details of the offending Electoral Commission officer from Afajato South, who was caught in this gross misconduct and breach of trust, and ensure that the necessary sanctions are firmly applied. In addition, we are asking the Ghana Police Service to provide the status report on the investigation of the NDC secretary who was caught with over 20,000 ballot papers in his possession, with the intention of going to Togo through an illegal route to train Togolese to come participate in our elections. Clearly, it's been over 24 hours and it's becoming a bit uncomfortable to us that we are yet to receive any updates on this particular incident, at least an official communique from the police. We expect that the security agencies will be more vigilant across the country, especially in the monitoring of these things, so that Ghana's elections will not be tampered with or manipulated. We also ask the Ghana Immigration Service, as we commend them, to increase vigilance across our borders and to ensure that non-Ghanaians are not smuggled into Ghana to vote. Clearly the intentions is there, and we have to do everything we have to do to ensure that we do not allow that to happen. This election is for Ghanaians, and it will be decided by the Ghanaian people only. We also urge the general public to remain calm, but in remaining calm, let's remain firm and vigilant. We know that we are generally peaceful as a people, and we all want a free and fair elections, and that is what Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia and the MPP is fully committed to. However, it is important to note that obviously based on the incidents that have happened in the past 24 hours, the NDC is worried about the outcome of these elections because of the hard work of Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia and the MPP government, and they are clearly intentioned to manipulate these elections in their stronghold, the Volta region. We trust that the security agencies will prevent any further attacks and interference with our processes and outcomes of these elections, and we call on all Ghanaians to come out in their numbers tomorrow. Let's come out in our numbers to vote for Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia and the MPP's parliamentary candidates across the country and deliver an emphatic victory for the MPP. In doing all of these things, let all note that the sanctity and the sanity of the electoral processes of this country would be protected at all costs by the New Patriotic Party, and we are not going to compromise on that under any circumstance. And so it's important that anybody that is being lured or being encouraged or motivated to engage on such illegal activities by the NDC takes note that we are going to deal with this the way all of these things have been dealt with. But we commend the security services for their vigilance so far, especially in these particular incidences, and being able to apprehend these people. Thank you very much for your time. And for our Twi audience, yes, say, Nancy Nyama and Kakrebi SC, voter region na NDC amayokuo omo hye sumase edi dwumadie bi e wo voter region ha adwen kakra beye yawo de ye twemu ye Ghana Immigration Service eche NDC constituency secretary owo Akachi North constituency I friend of Abraham Ahebu na Abraham ekura ballot papers nko beye 23,000 ode ko Togo na immigration fortune no mututu na no de oka ne say on the ballot papers no ko Togo na wakoko training Togo for ekwa ye faso eto aba ha dwen esane say de dikan edie ne bema NDC secretary wa Akachi North ebe was sa ballot papers dodo we e won ho a osanso ede ewura bebi fufuro ye tosu mienu adwen be na woni tirim enti a wafa ballot papers a ode ekọ Togo na dwen pode se ono ane numu ton se okwakọ cheche Togo fo se na yesitu aba akada ba ko anada mienu a ye ba beto aba e wo Ghana ebiom adenti ene fa Togo fo ho se ye ba beto aba enti a ebema NDC secretary etukwa akọ Togo okompo anfa border ofa akwan a emrama ho kwan se ebefa so ena ode ekwakọ wura Togo kokwa ye bo Togo fo nyina ne se aba ye to na kina no e Ghana fo aba se wonya Ghana ni a wontumi ntubi enti sempo se NDC fo be dada o ena obe register ye wabra ye registration na fatu tim se MPP amayokuo ye ma ho kwan ema wonto abayi bi e wo man mu a wonye Ghana ni ya hye MPP fo e wo voter region nyina se ye ma ye ninda ho ne enjira ho pintin obi obebe bi a onye Ghana ni a ya wo evidence che so onye Ghana ni a fi Togo no yes na no kwan cause clearly no dia esiri kire se NDC fo si omutimu po a me no kase yi omaye omadwen so omde Togo fo e ba beto aba e wo omaye we mu dia tosu mienu on the 5th of December eye endro ye twem ye yi afaja to electoral officer owo constituency nim essential of the electoral materials ballot papers and documents eso the core constituency nim embrand system wo kwa eso the police for the electoral commission for car and echo oko no one for police dey ndi nachi one for official electoral commission vehicle ono an car and no the normal na gum no no an ko anam eno kura ballot papers a echina ye de ba beto aba no eno de nam de ode aye yenim so de nsa ka ballot papers yenim de ode ballot papers akofa yenim so yi bi afrim so de bi aka ho yame adom police for abomoden abo adwuma ama me no kase police for de omsa yeden asodimu ye bo police for abaso na mom ye sese Ghana fo nyina ebehia se omo behu dia akwakosi bebia asem na akwakosi na electoral commission ye besremo na mode abrantia ye a oye adwuma wo mohwe a wa fom mbrei mama